Hey family, this is your girl Janine and this is a little thing called life. If this is your first time watching this video, I do strongly encourage you to please subscribe, like, and share if you like the video at the end. If this is not your first time, welcome back. And then also thank everyone who did give me any kind of positive love or energy on my first video. I'm still on cloud nine for that, and just all the overwhelming support and love that I got. I appreciate that more than you guys will ever know. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is Friday. I know I was supposed to post a video yesterday, but life happened and I kind of got distracted. And by the time I actually sat down and tried to record, it literally distraction after distraction. So I'm making up for it today. I am posting a video today and trying to turn my head, not my heart. So let's go ahead and get started. I know when I ended my last video, I was saying that I would be coming on today, which is this week, to talk about, you know, my journey, what in the world is journey? My journey through being pregnant, finding out I was pregnant, so on and so forth. And I was going to introduce Mackenzie today, but she decided to take a little nap, so we're gonna let her sleep and we're not gonna wake her up, and y'all will meet her eventually. But just to go ahead and get started with that though, I just want to say for me, getting pregnant was it was an emotional thing for me, just because it's something that I wanted for a while. Me and my husband, we've been married for 3 years, and I think when we first got married, we were like, we want kids right away. So we were like on board for baby like right away. And I think it's a touchy topic to talk about anyway, regardless if you want kids and you don't want kids, and you know, especially with other people, they, you know, when you guys are going to have kids and when you guys are going to have kids, it's not like we can just snap our fingers and it'll happen, right? So it was definitely for me something internally that I was struggling with emotionally. The very first time that we tried, and I thought I was like over the moon ecstatic. I was praying about it and just praying, and it didn't happen. So naturally, of course, I was disappointed. And then going through that disappointment and trying to, you know, cope with the fact that, you know, not now, one of my friends found out she was pregnant. So I was like, all right, God, all right, don't know what your plan is, but okay, I'm gonna ride with you. But it hurt, and you know, I don't think people really understood where I was coming from, you know. And not by any means was I hating on my friend. I was over the moon excited for her. I'm always happy for my friends' successes when they succeed. But you know, in the same breath though, it's like when you want something and it doesn't happen for you, you still have to deal with your emotions internally as well. So you know, it's hard to be happy for somebody, but then be at the same time like, oh, well, what, you know, my life is, you know, not where I want it to be. And I know that sounds dramatic, but that's, like I said, end of the day, if it's something that you really want and it's not happening for you, but you see it around other people going on for them, it does make you feel some type of way. And I'm not going to lie, I really did. But I was over the moon happy for her. I was excited. But it's just that, just seeing that journey and just knowing that that's where I wanted to be, it really made me feel, it really hurt. It really did. I'm not gonna lie. It really hurt, and I never felt the pain like that. It's something that it's like you want so bad, and it's like you just can't go out and buy it, or you just can't go out and just order it or make it happen. It's like it's everything is on timing, and it has to be on God's timing, and like it was that, and this is when I first learned me being a believer of God, that, you know, you can't move on your time, you have to move on your time. So that happened, and you know, it goes on again, and you know, trying and it's not happening, then you start second guessing yourself. You know, is there something wrong with me? Why is it not happening? It looked like everybody around me opened their eyes. Poop, I'm pregnant. On my timeline, somebody else is pregnant. I'm like, okay, well, when? You know, I'm just gonna keep praying and waiting. And at the same time, you know, me and my best friend, we kind of have that natural bond with that situation, because we both were going through the same thing. You know, she understood exactly where I was coming from, and same thing with me. You know, I understood her, she understood me, and we knew what we wanted and where we were in our life. And it's not that, like I said, we weren't happy for people that was around us that were, you know, getting blessed with it, but at the same time, we were kind of like, whoa, what about us? So I think most people don't like talking about that, because it makes them sound like they're jealous, and I wasn't jealous, you know, but it did hurt, and I'm not ashamed to say that I'm a human being. Like, if I wanted it too, like, I'm just gonna be flat honest, I wanted it too, and that's the reality of it. But when I was praying about it, I always got this number 28. I really didn't know what it meant. Excuse me, I don't know what it meant, but it was 28. That's all I kept getting was 28, and I kind of just prayed to God, like, if this is something that you want from me, keep that fire in me going. But if it's something that you don't have planned for my life, I just want you to have me focus my passion and all my energy to something else, because I don't want to keep being hurt. That was my prayer. But it wouldn't go. It wouldn't leave. So I figured it was meant for me to be a mother soon, because I was wanting to be a mother. So like I said, I kept praying. It was 28. 28 is all I kept getting. So last year I'm bad with numbers. On my 28th birthday, I turned 28 on the 28th in December. And that's what people say is your golden year, when you turn the age of the day you were born. So I turned 28 on the 28th. So after that, when I turned 28, that feeling of wanting to be a mother kind of just went into overdrive. I don't know why. It was just like, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I just prayed. Last Mother's Day, not this past one, but the one prior, 2017, my husband came home from church, because I worked on the weekend, so I was at work that Sunday. But he came home and he told me, he's like, next year you're going to celebrate Mother's Day. And I was like, okay. I really didn't want to get my hopes up talking about the subject, because every time I did, I got my hopes up and it didn't happen. I went through this whole woe is me little depression thing, and I didn't want to keep doing that to myself. So I was just like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. So he said that was in May. And then, June comes around, then July, and then we was like, okay, let's go ahead and keep this in overdrive. So we tried, and then this is where it gets fun. Mind you, I kept saying 28 was the number I kept getting. So I was 28 when this is going on. One particular night, me and my husband had a little date night. We went out and we just had a good time, and we hung out, and then we got home, and then all of a sudden, like, I got sick as a dog. I mean, like, giving it all she's got, like, just throwing up. And so my first instinct, of course, was like, could I be pregnant? And then I was like, well, I downplayed it. I was like, well, the shrimp I did have, because we went to a seafood restaurant. Oh, I cannot talk. The shrimp was kind of cold, so I tried to blame it on that. I was like, oh, it was a shrimp, it was a shrimp. It wasn't nothing else. And my husband, he goes, well, could you be pregnant? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, the shrimp was cold, I was trying to downplay it, but I'm laying in bed like, oh shit, like, could I be? Like, okay, whatever. So the next morning, I get up, get ready for work, and I just get ready, and I spray some perfume or body splash or whatever you call it, and I walked into it, and then when I walked into it, like, I instantly, like, got sick. It wasn't even no preparation for it. Like, I walked into it, and it was just like, whoop, and that was it. So I was like, okay, well, and then again, that popped up, and I was like, well, maybe, like I said, the shrimp was cold, so maybe it was food poison, like, on set started food poison. So that whole day, I'm feeling a little weird, feeling a little funny, but not really thinking too much of it. Like I said, I'm thinking it was for what I ate. So that Monday, that was the weekend. So that Monday rolls around, and I was actually off of work that day, and I just kind of slept around. I had a long week prior to that, so I just slept around and just slept and literally just being lazy. And I didn't think nothing of it, because usually what I do on my day off, I just rest and relax for the most part. So I got up and ran a few errands, stopped and got some fries and ice cream, and that's the reason why I mentioned that, is because I got it from Sonic, and I really don't eat Sonic ice cream or French fries, so that was weird that I even wanted that, but I was like, whatever, I'm gonna go with it. So I took a pregnancy test earlier that day. Forgot to tell y'all, I took a pregnancy test earlier that day, and then I had put it kind of like back in the box and kind of just left it to the side so I can continue with my day. I didn't think nothing much of it. I was like, I know it's going to be negative, just being a little crybaby. It's going to be negative anyway, whatever. So when I got home, like I said, I went back to sleep again. Like, I was just like, and now that I play it back on mine, like, I was like dog tired. I was like sleeping, like getting it in. So my husband comes home, and I'm getting dinner and stuff going, and I was like, oh snap, I forgot about the pregnancy test. I didn't tell him I took it, because I didn't want to get his hopes up and then he'd be let down too. There was no point both of us being in our feelings. So I went in the bathroom, and I was like, I was about to throw it in the trash. I said, look at that test. So I was like, all right. So I pulled it out the box, just knowing it was going to be negative, and then to my surprise, hello, a positive. And I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, literally like silence for a good 30 seconds, and I was like, babe, and he was like, yeah. Mind you, I'm in the bathroom, the door closed. So after I said babe, I didn't say nothing else. And he was like, hello. So I opened the bathroom door and I walk up to him with this test in my hand, and I showed it to him. I was like, so I took a test earlier and it says it's positive. And he grabbed it and he looks at it, and he was kind of about to go to sleep, and he was like, he sat up, he was like, is this real? And I was like, I think so. And he was like just the happiness on his face was like amazing to me. And so he was like, and he made a joke, oh, get this piece stick away from me. Whatever, I took it. So the next morning, I woke up, took another one. As soon as I woke up, positive. It's like, dang. So I told my aunt, she was excited. We talked all day, and we kind of just keeping it secret. So we went to surprise everyone and took another one. Pretty much, long story short, took about 4 tests before I went to the doctor to confirm that I was actually pregnant, and all of them were positive. So for me, that feeling is that memory always plays back in my mind. It's something that you would never forget, because it's something that, like I said, it's something that I always wanted. And like I told y'all, I kept getting the number 28. Well, lo and behold, I think it meant that I would be pregnant when I'm 28, because when I found out I was pregnant, y'all, I was 28 years old, like no joke. And it was 7 months into that year, and it was about to be the end of that year. He didn't say when, but he just said 28. And I think that was, for me, this story is not only a journey talking about our pregnancy, but it's also a testimony too, in that if you truly believe and if you trust him and just put all your trust in him, which I think that was my true test, to fully trust him, because this is something that I really couldn't control. Like, he comes through, and I was just so overwhelmed with that, and my whole pregnancy was just amazing. I mean, I was sick, but it was something that I loved. I loved being pregnant, and then I hated it at the same time, because towards the end, my feet got so swole, I couldn't put on no shoes. I was wearing my Nike slide-ins, like my face was fat. It was a journey, but it was something that I didn't take for granted, and it's something that I really, really appreciated, and I would be grateful for. And now I have my little princess. She is amazing. She is so beautiful, and she's just so full of energy and life already for her to be 2 months. But I'm also proud to say that I did celebrate my first Mother's Day, like my husband told me a year ago that I would celebrate my first Mother's Day, and I did. So that for me, just my whole motherhood experience so far has just been something that's I'm in love. I love it. Granted, I don't like sitting at home all the time, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world if I get to be with Mackenzie 24/7. Like, it's so worth it. But pretty much that's my journey in a nutshell, and that's my story. With that, like I said, I don't know who the story is for, why it was meant for me to tell it, but maybe somebody out there who is currently going through something right now, not really, regardless if it's trying to get pregnant or trying to attain something and trying to find peace within yourself for something that you've been wanting for so long. Just be patient and wait, because just because he says no doesn't mean it's a no permanently. It's just a no for right now. So that's what I had to learn, and that's what I took from that. And he blessed me and my husband tremendously. We love this little girl so much, and like I said, she went to sleep, so I would have introduced her. She loves the camera already. When the camera comes on, she knows she gets it together, honey. But like I said, I don't know who this is for, and if it's not for you, but somebody who is going through something like this, please share this with them. Tell them to watch. I'm the type of person that's going to talk real about my feelings. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, whenever it was going to happen, it was going to happen. I said on the outside, by the inside, I was like, Lord, please look. I don't know. I can't take one more pregnancy testing to be negative. I might lose my mind. Like, and I'm being real. That's where I was at. And like I said, it was never the fact that I was hating or not happy for nobody else. I was extremely happy for them, but at the same time, I'm gonna be real. Like, I was going through something. Like, what about me? What about my feelings? And I don't think everybody was understanding to that, and it's okay. Not everybody's going to be on your same journey or your same walk with you, but I'm just being honest with myself and my feelings, and I knew what I wanted and where I was at. But like I said, it is what it is. But that, like I said, that's pretty much my story and my journey. Please comment if you're watching this video. Please comment your pregnancy stories, how you find out, you know, if you ever wanted kids, if you're still trying, just kind of like let me know. You know, I want to keep this open dialogue going. I think this is something that can always be talked about, and an encouraging thing as well. You know, not too many people have the courage to talk about their feelings, and you know, some people just don't talk about it. So like I said, let's comment, just kind of, you know, let me know what's going on with you in your world, and I can just be listening ear the best way I can. But yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for listening to me vent. The more I do these videos, the more comfortable I get talking. So I'm gonna be around for a while. I don't know what I'm gonna be talking about next week. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about next week. I'm just might get on here and just start talking. Hell, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But in the meantime, you know, y'all just remember, you know, anything worth having is worth waiting for. If it's a no at that time, that doesn't mean it's a no just forever. Just trust God. Just be patient. Be still and know that He is God, and you can't move around Him. You can't move ahead or front and back of Him. And y'all, I'm not a preacher. My husband is a minister though, but I'm not a preacher, and I would never, like I said, I'm not going to get here pretend to be something that I'm not. I'm just going to talk about what I know, and I do know God is real, and He's real. I mean, He is live and well. So that's what I know. That's me. But just tune in next week. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about or who's going to be joining me. Is it going to be Mackenzie? It's going to be my husband? It's just going to be me. We don't know. So, so just come back and we'll just, you know, continue this open dialogue from there. In the meantime, I am Janine, and this is a little thing called life. Y'all be easy.